this week's gospel, Jesus meets this man with leprosy. Now, thankfully, we're not super familiar with leprosy in the modern world, but in Jesus' day, leprosy is still around now, right? Leprosy is this awful, ugly, contagious skin disease where your body slowly rots, and you lose feeling in your ear, and eventually your ear falls off, and you might not even realize that it happened, right? And so in Jesus' day, this was a big problem because they didn't know how to contain it. They didn't know how it was spread. There was no germ theory and all that sort of stuff. So people with leprosy were just kind of like shoved off to the sides of civilization, right? Get out of the city, go live in some camp somewhere. They had to do these horribly demeaning things like wear bells around their necks and yell out leprosy and all this sort of stuff so people knew they were coming, right? Terribly, horribly ostracized by this thing, right? Spiritually speaking, though, leprosy is this strong symbol for sin, right? Sin kind of creeps into our lives. We don't necessarily notice its effects all the way, and then all of a sudden parts of us start to die and rot, right? Parts of our heart, parts of our interior life start to fall off, if you will, right? And we create these habits of vice, right? Habitually doing bad things. That's what a vice is. Whereas a virtue is habitually doing what is good, to the point that you almost don't even think about it, you just do it, right? And so leprosy is this kind of icon of what sin does to us. It destroys us from the inside out, separates us from other people, separates us from God. It's disgusting. Now, check out how Jesus responds to leprosy. This guy shows up and says, if you wish, he recognizes who Jesus is. If you wish, you can make me clean. And what does Jesus say? Ooh, you're disgusting, you're gross, you're supposed to be over there with those people, get away from us? No, what does it say? It says, moved with pity, Jesus stretched out his hand, touched him, and said, I do will it, be clean. This is Jesus. There's plenty of times he heals people where he's just like, boom, you're healed. In this case, someone who has this contagious skin disease, this gross thing that people are terrified of, Jesus touches him to heal him. That's how Jesus responds to your sin and to my sin. We approach our sin like it's this horribly gross thing, right? A lot of us do anyhow. People wouldn't love me if they knew this about me. People would not, they would look at me differently if they knew that I was attracted to this sort of bad thing, right? Even for kids, for little kids, right? We kind of get caught up in thinking people wouldn't like me if they knew that I was attracted to being mean to people, right? If there was something attractive about that. Or people wouldn't like me if they knew that I wanted to disobey my parents sometimes, right? And then adults, those things can get bigger and uglier sometimes, right? Notice how Jesus responds to our leprosy, our sin. He sees it, he touches it, he wills it to be made clean, he has pity. There's no judgment, there's no anger, there's no disgust. That's how Jesus responds to our sins. And so the big takeaway from the gospel this weekend is, what are the things eating away at my life that I feel like I have to hide from people? And how can I invite Jesus into that so he can have pity on me and touch it and heal it?